This is a Spyderco Sprint Run Endura 4 in HAP40 steel. The steel is laminated. You see the lamination line. So it's HAP40 and SUS 410, probably for corrosion resistance. I mean, I'm thinking that that's the reasoning behind laminating the steel. It's been a while since I had an Endura 4, since I had an Endura, and I've never had an Endura 4, and I like it. I like the what they've done to it, bringing it along, the ergonomics, the full flat ground blade, the color, the burnt orange isn't bad. I'm not real big on bright colors, but this is fine. It's not. I don't mind it at all. So I was waiting for this steel to come out. It reminded me, when I first looked into it, of CPM M4. They're not exactly the same, but they're similar. You know, when I looked up HAP40, it reminded me of M4, and so I thought to myself, you know, when that comes out, I want to see how it sharpens. I want to see what kind of sharpness it takes. M4 takes a very, very high sharpness. Gets insanely sharp, and a lot of people like it for that. I was wondering if this would too. It does seem to stand out a little bit to me. I also wanted to test it against M4, and that's what I did. I did cardboard testing and rope testing. With the cardboard testing, I used the lower part of the blade. With the rope testing, I used the upper part of the blade. The rope test that I did, I'm not happy with, and I'm not even going to present the data. It was too influenced by variables and just a flawed test, and I'm just considering it a wash. The cardboard testing that I did, however, was using one consistent type of cardboard. So I used one type of cardboard for the test. Something worth discussing on that. If you want to do an edge retention test between two knives, so you got knife 1 and knife 2, and you're using different cardboard for the test, cardboard 1, cardboard 2. If you're using this knife on cardboard 1, this knife on cardboard 2, if these two cardboards are different, if there's major differences between them in weight and density, it can have a huge influence on the edge retention of a knife, much more than people would think. So to avoid that, what I do is I'll use one type of cardboard for both knives. So the same piece gets cut an equal number of times by each knife. It's an equal length cut each time, and that's how I control that variable when I'm doing a test with cardboard. With the cardboard, I used the lower part of the blade. It was more or less a push cut, maybe a little slice to get into it, and then a push cut through. And I kept track of the inches. This was the knife in M4 that I used, is Spyderco Gale Bradley. I kept track of the inches with the test, and M4 came out ahead in edge retention. In the end, HAP40 cut 861 inches of cardboard before it would stop shaving hair, and M4 cut 951 inches before it would stop shaving hair. It sounds like a big difference, but you figure that's 71 3/4 feet for HAP40 and 79 1/4 feet for M4. It's pretty close, and this is one test. It's one test done the way that I conducted this test. If I really wanted to be sure, I would do multiple runs to see average results. I'm not going to do that. I don't have time for that. But M4 came out on top. I'm not too surprised by that. Wasn't too far ahead though, so it was interesting, and I like the knife. I'm glad that I got it. I'm going to be carrying it for a while, and make a user out of it. After I got done the test, I resharpened the knife. Both before the test and afterwards, I sharpened on the stones of the Spyderco Sharp Maker. Didn't deviate from that this time. I didn't get into any experimentation with other stones. It sharpened fine. Seems to take a high sharpness and leave a pretty aggressive edge. Kind of bites right into you as you move along. So it's interesting. I want to do more with the steel. Like I said, I'm going to be using it a lot and seeing how it wears and how it holds up outside of a controlled atmosphere like a test, just in general use, see what happens with it.